Welcome to Black Independence. We study here is Black independence, liberty, and freedom. Real freedom, not what the so-called raccoons have all, let me see how to say this, glorified or just basically advocated for. Because this freedom isn't freedom at all compared to um, the so-called white man and his freedom. You see, what we black people and just mainly around the world, but specifically in America, uh, suffer from is mental illness. And when I say that is when I say that, don't take it as, oh, like we have a mental problem. I mean, some of you do, but take it more in a way of there's something that needs to be changed as far as the way we think. Because how long, how many more Trayvon Martins, how many more, and when I'm making this video, nothing has happened, I mean, things have happened, of course, but nothing recently have happened to make me to, like, make this video to be like, oh my God, it's just, you know, um, that time, or, but to be real, black people should have been doing this. Like, it should be fun. It's actually funny that it's coming from a person like me who hasn't spent their life here my entire life. But I spent my life here long enough to see, where the problem stems from for black people all over the world. Like, I've been to Africa. I've seen the struggles that the African people go through, and I'll tell you, they're more freer than us, of course, than the people in America. But at the same time, the white man has dominated the world. And I don't say that kindly. When I mean dominate, I mean like the games we play, and it's actual domination. They take over, destroy, manipulate, and, spread actual disease. And this is not nothing of, new. This is in the history books. They still doing it. Biological warfare and all of this other stuff, man, it's kind of scary. But the five topics we gonna touch on today is integration, black on black crime, drugs, guns. I might not be doing this in order. I'm gonna see how the video's set up, and but it might not be in all the way I'm saying it. But black on black violence. What was the other one? Raccoons. Integration. Hip hop. The first one with integration. I'm gonna just say this: bad, 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 bad. You don't want to undeveloped people being babysitted by a so-called superior who basically, the reason I say so-called is because they made themselves superior in their conquering and their stealing and their conniving ways. And black people being so submissive to that ideology, they kind of, just gave all into it. And now you got so many Uncle Toms running around. Too many. In fact, if we want to be real, all of America, all the blacks in America, the majority are Uncle Toms. Literally. Going to work for the white man, doing everything. I mean, at the point in time, I'm unemployed. But I am, or I can also be, acknowledge the fact that I have been an Uncle Tom and, still, still do some things that can be so-called an Uncle Tom would do, you see. Now, I try to get away from that, but it's so hard being that we're literally under their system. You see, that's why I advocate so hard for the ideology of people like Malcolm X, people like actually that's probably all because reason I say that is I don't know if he was the only one. I did hear some great things about James Baldwin, but I didn't really get to take a look into him. There was another one, Muhammad somebody, but it was he was also a member of the Nation of Islam. But I advocate for the ideology of Malcolm X so hard because it's like he advocated for separation, not integration. Integration is the thing that's really killing black people because being so undeveloped, we can't do anything. It's been taking me a long time to make this video because people really don't understand, like, as a people, we can't do anything. We don't have nothing. Like, I'm talking about I'm 24, bro. 40 years from now, if we still under this so-called fake-ass empire, bro, we're done. We are done. I'm talking about as a youth, as a young male in this society, bro. How we moving, we listening to people like, and that man, look at our youth and who they look up to. The average 24-year-old, the average 20-year-old is going out and, doing what a 20-year-old does, of course, but the ideology and the mentality that they have is like, oh, like, I'm spending all my money on chicks and, we looking sweet in a club and we balling, we got drugs. Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, that's not even childish because a child shouldn't even be doing it, if you ask me. And that's what another thing I need to touch on because black people need to understand we are literally living in the 1920s still. It's no better than the 1920s. Because if you think about it, that's what the whites was doing in the 1920s. That's what they was doing. We got the gangster mentality from them. That didn't come from us. We wasn't doing this shit in so-called Africa. Are you stupid? Nobody was doing that. They did all of that with the mob, the Italian mob, the mafia and all of that shit. That was them. People got to understand, even when it comes to the Bloods and the Crips, that was if I'm not mistaken, it was like some type of police force, a black police force or enforcer, because the government wasn't doing it. So they brothers start doing shit themselves. And that's the thing right there. That's what really should have happened. Instead of, we looking up to this coon Martin Luther King, we should have been looking up to Malcolm X. We should have been looking up to liberty, independence, just salvation. Because in this, look, nobody's going to be happy. Nobody's going to be thriving financially, mentally, even physically, you see, because we're dying at their, like, we might not be dying every day like how it used to be, but we're still dying. And don't get it twisted. Even when it comes to how they have emasculated, or I don't know if that's the right word, but how they have like made the black male so weird now, bro. I want all y'all to actually take a look out y'all door one day, right? And actually open your eyes, right? It might be coming off because I don't really do the sign stuff, but I'm a Sagittarius, so I might come off a little wrong sometimes, or it might just sound wrong when I say it. But I want everybody to actually open their eyes and look at our males, at our black males, right? You will see the majority. If they not mean to curse, but if they not niggas, then they homosexuals. If they, not so much a niggas, but street niggas, specifically. And the other one, that's the funny thing about it, right? Because the other one is the hardcore one. If he's not a homosexual, a street nigga, then he's an Uncle Tom. Full-blown Uncle Tom. And that's the sad thing about it, because how we gonna have all of these Uncle Toms running around and they talking about, oh man, you gotta get out them streets. I mean, I understand. I fully advocate for people to get out the streets. You should be pointing your guns at the other direction, if you ask me, brother. You shouldn't be pointing them at your own kind. But we gonna talk about integration in another video, because that's more of a specific video. Let's talk on black crime right now, all right? Black on black crime has been getting, or I wasn't raised, in the early days, they say, but I was raised around this country long enough to see that black on black crime isn't even talked about enough. It's damn near a genocide going on, if you ask me. Like a black genocide, and black on black crime is also, I should have added, I'm gonna actually do this, right? Black on black crime, drugs, guns, and hip hop, I'm gonna put in the all same one. Because it's literally the same thing. Every time, listen to the lyrics, right? Every time somebody say something in the lyrics like, I'm gonna kill that nigga, I'm gonna fuck his bitch, I'm gonna fuck that nigga bitch, and, all of this, nigga that, nigga this. Who's the niggas? Who does everybody know a nigga to be? What color skin does he have? Are you fucking thinking what I'm thinking right now, bro? That is racism. And what's another funny thing about it, right? A lot of people don't really understand. They be like, you got all of these white supremacists like Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirk talking about, but they say it in their lyrics. They kill their own people. I mean, who's funding these artists, right? And then you see that they're Jews and they're so-called these white dudes who run the industry, and you see them with Biggie Smalls and Jay-Z and all of these other big people. And you like, bro, I thought you niggas was doing, I thought this was a black on black thing. I mean, a black on, you got your own business, because a lot of them, they try to put it as, I'm doing my own thing, like Rock Nation. You would think that's a black owned thing. You feel me? Like whole time they owned by, you never know who, but it's of course one of these big industry companies that are run by Jewish white men. And a lot of people don't understand. Whites are the same. No matter what Italian, white, they all look at you the same. So put them in the same bucket too. Don't start faking it like, they aren't white. You go to Italy, they might not call you a nigga, but they thinking it. Especially if you act like one. And a lot of y'all actually act like it. That's the problem. You actually want to act ignorant and stupid, but that's the mentality thing I talked about at the beginning of the video. That's the house nigga effect. It's been in America too long. A lot of y'all need to actually experience life. This shit ain't it. Going out every day at the club, paying bills, paying rent. In what country? I mean, I understand that you gotta pay for everything, right? But God ain't put you on this earth for that. When Adam, this is why I don't talk to a lot of females in our generation. And I just more so just fuck them. I know this might be too much for YouTube, but it's just the truth, because when you think about it, it's more so this, right? When Adam and Eve, or they say, I don't believe in the bullshit story, I'm not gonna lie to you. But when Adam and Eve first was fucking thought of, right? Eve didn't go up to Adam and be like, Adam probably was like, what's up? He didn't go up to her and was like, what's up, bitch, or whatever. He ain't say all that, or like, what's up? And she be like, nigga, I ain't fucking with you. You ain't got no money. If they so-called had a whole, human race to make. Ain't nobody say that shit. So what the fuck are we? I know that might be like funny to some of y'all, bro, but or like cringe, but it's like fucking reality. You got all. It's so funny because the black community in America. I don't know if this is all over, but specifically in America, everybody want to be tricking. Like you got the black female tricking like it ain't no tomorrow. And this is the sad part about it. Society, they really like push for pretty woman and shit like that. Of course, everybody loves a pretty woman, but woman, right? But this is what I'm trying to say is because I didn't write none of this down. I'm just speaking on top of my head. Of course, I've been thinking about doing this for so long, but what what um what I'm trying to say is you're not gonna have that body forever. You're not gonna be looking like that forever, and nobody gonna want to impregnate you. Nobody gonna want to keep your legacy or their legacy going inside of you. When you doing shit like that, you already got a bad rep. You think somebody gonna put something inside of you? And if it is, and if they do, then it's one of these cornballs, these freaking what you call them? What's the word? Simp. And a simp ain't no good for a daddy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just getting like really cringe in our community, bro. Like I used to spend big money on girls. I used to be a simp. Just like I used to be a house nigga. I didn't realize what I was doing until I really like woke the fuck up. And a lot of people don't wake up. I see people still freaking doing it. And I see it because, you got all of these rappers like Future, and don't get me wrong, Future one of my favorite artists. But I stopped listening to rap music a long time ago. A long time ago. It's poison. We are literally dying by the hands of our own people. Lyrically, physically, mentally, all of it. Even financially, they telling you, go buy chains, go buy this, go buy that. And when you think about it, the rappers are funny. Cause when we got out of slavery, they took the chains off, and ended the contract. When a rapper becomes a rapper, they get new chains, right? But they chains just look a little better because they got diamonds on them, right? Idiots. And they sign a new contract. Their contract just only includes that they got to make everybody else into a slave. They got to make everybody else think the same way. Right? Because you got all of these rappers advocating for you to go, spend your money in a club and spend your money on this car and that broad. But it's like, when you ever seen any one of these rappers actually spend money for the black community? You know why they can't? The reason they can't, and I don't mean freaking go get some back to school books. Of course they want you to go back to the white man's school. That's a problem with integration. How are we going to advocate for us to go to a white man's school, get taught about white people? I usually start saying the white man, because that's exactly what they are. The lineage of evil. People need to understand what we're dealing with. We ain't dealing with the average Joe. We dealing with evil forces. These people been evil since the beginning of time. Before they was killing us, they was killing their own kind. Before they knew it was a broader world, they used to have war amongst themselves for centuries, ages. Every European descendant, all of them, They all conquered the world, literally, and we're playing right into their game. A lot of people don't even know that Black Americans, the buying power is about 1.4 trillion. So the GDP of basically a country like Mexico. And I'm talking about just the black people in America. We're not talking about black people all over the world. If that's a fact, right? You have black people, bro, that we have all of this so-called money that we're spending. You got the black female spending money more on wigs than she spent on her children. And you know what's funny about wigs, right? In Africa, when I was in Africa, they had to wear wigs because, you know, it's dominated by the French or whatever place dominated it, because that's what white people do. They dominate. And we allow them to do it, and we keep allowing them to do it. You know, Malcolm X, and I'm about to just start going off the rails here. Malcolm X said something. He said, we keep going to fight for, like, he was talking about like the wars that was happening at the time and how we went and fought like the Red Tails and all of these, you know, Uncle Toms that they try to make our leaders, the astronauts. He said, how are we gonna go fight in their wars, right? And we can't even fight our own. We can't even fight our own. We fight every single time. I see people talk about our police force, our army. That's another thing Malcolm X is talking about. He was like, our astronauts. I don't care if he's black. What do you mean, our astronauts? That's the most Uncle Tom or sellout, whatever. There's no way you can really think that this is your country, bro. I don't care. Every black American, I want you to actually think, right? When you say black American, because you're not black and you're not American, right? You're actually brown. Because when the last time you seen a black person? Let me just tell you that first. We really should start calling ourselves the melanated people, because that's exactly what we are, melanated people, and they're not. But let me get back on topic, right? We're not American. And the only one who thinks that is Uncle Tom's. Melanated people need to get their shit together. That's all I'm going to say. We need to stop playing. We need to stop being babysitted by another race who keep showing their true colors. How many more Trayvon Martins, George Floyd, how many more memes until we start, oh, that's what I was talking about. How we keep going to fight for them. Like you have these Black Panthers. When the ICE agents come out, and this is, I'm going to say something like this, right? And then a lot of people going like probably go crazy about this. Who cares if they kill their own kind? Who cares if so-called Renee Good lost her life? Because think about it like this, right? Not too recently from that, or not too long from that, a black male died from ICE. It didn't get covered like Renee Good got covered. It wasn't worldwide news or nationwide news. You know why? Because he was black. Just because she was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil, she got the picture, she got the big shot? Fuck no. And that's why I always will say integration is and always will be a mistake. We don't even have a police force. We don't have a currency. We don't have a school system. People are like, we got a church with their religion. What do we have? We're the 8th consumer in the world. What do we have? Nothing. A bottle of liquor, a couple bottles every weekend, and you got people spending $800 on a table, because they got a couple chicks with them and they spend even more. Like, bro, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. We are losing. We will be dominated. We already dominated, but even more if we don't get our shit together. And I mean actual get our shit together, not keep playing around and, trying to join their system and try to be, what's it called? Like you gotta join it to make a change. That's the most house nigga thing you can say. You got all of these black people becoming police officers, trained, they federal agents and all of this shit, fighting their system. If shit's hit the fan and they start, let's say they start, we about to start rounding up black people. Who you think gonna be the face of that shit? Or operating in it, or involved? The black people that's, in the federal agencies and all of this stuff. They're not gonna lose their job and lose their pay. And that's the thing about it. Like, they not about to get up and leave their job about black people, because they already, developed the house nigga mentality of, oh yeah, these niggas need to go. Master got me. Master said I'm getting paid next week. As long as my payday come in, these niggas could go, all their ass could die. It's a lot of Uncle Toms running around, man. This might be, a far-fetched take, but I don't believe it to be such. A lot of people might look at it like that because they, like, even the profile picture or the thumbnail, Martin Luther King. Don't let it get y'all. Don't get it twisted, y'all. Look who he was funded by. Look who he was shaking hands with. Look who every HBCU is funded by. Look how every HBCU developed house niggas. Don't care if you in Howard. What's the other one in the all girls one in freaking Atlanta? No matter where you are, they created your system. They making you learn what you learn. It's not black excellence or melanated excellence or anything like that. It's all them. And we keep buying the shit. Every freaking time. Like, it's actually about time we start doing something about it. I don't mean, violence. Because when you start, that's a last resort. We need to put our money just in different places. Start actually doing something with it. Brazilian, they got Brazil. Colombians, they got Colombia. Americans, they got America, right? Europeans, they got Europe. Chinese, they got China. Russians, they got Russia. Black, what we got? Don't say America. Because when you think America, then you a house nigga for real. Like, there's no turning back from that. You got to actually fix yourself, right? America's never been ours. It's a little movie that came out, Sarah's Oil. Get the fuck out of here. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. What are we watching? The house nigga evolution? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, don't fucking make me laugh. I'm so sick and tired of coons, bro. If you want to be honest, and this might be like a crazy but realistic thing to say, right? Them the people that you should be putting your shit at, not your own brothers and sisters that's actually trying to make a living for, their family as well. Because the coons, they believe that, empowering the white man is how I'm going to make my money. Because he pay more. He going to pay me more. His money means something. Our money ain't shit. That's something that people need to actually really think about. Even if this is the thing, right? Even if black people was to not spend $1 for a week, because if I'm not mistaken, it's about 44.7 million black people in America. I might be mistaken about that, but I was mistaken. I made a quote back then. I used to say black people are going to go extinct if they don't get their shit together. I didn't know the population of us. I didn't know that we were growing. Actually, I thought that we were, going extinct. But we used to be 22 million. Now we're 44 or 49, something like that. But the point is, we need to start getting our shit together. It's only so long before, total, like, and this is the thing about Africa, bro. Like, Africa could be a great starting point for black people, because it's not what you've been told. Don't get it twisted. Africa looks better than America in every way, more beautiful. It's not huts and tents that people living in. People need to really realize Africa is not what it seems to be. It's not what we've been told. Who you think built the pyramids? Arabs? Like, don't fucking make me laugh, y'all. Arabs ain't built the pyramids. Egypt is in Africa. Yes, you might have black Arabs and black Muslims, you can say, but no, they also colonized, because people need to realize Arabs was also a part of the slave trade as well. They were the main ones. Look at their skin. A lot of them is more on the white side. Let's just say that. A lot of people don't notice. I was raised in Israel. I was raised around, well, let me call it this, because I would no longer call it Israel from this day forth. Palestine. I was raised in Palestine, right? And growing up there, it was an all-black community, of course. Everybody was vegan, and I'm not saying that's how you should live your life. Live your life how you want to. Just don't go on and killing black people in the process, because at this point, you're just already degrading what left we have of what already been degraded. Like, you're just helping out. And that's why I say the Uncle Tom category could fit into the rap category. It could fit into the drug dealer category. It could fit into the black politician category. You literally have black people dying at the hands of other black people. Like, really, really, like, think about that shit. I get it, white people kill white people. But white people are developed, my guy. All over the world. All over the world. When I hear people talk, when they say they want to go on a trip, I want to go to Italy, I want to go to Spain, I want to go to Rome, Germany. Nobody ever say Africa. When I talk to black people, nobody ever say Africa. And I talk to a lot of black people from all over the world. Everybody say they want to go to a white country. You know why? Because the world has been whitewashed. You got this so-called white male crisis in America. And don't get me wrong, they definitely going through a crisis, but they've been going through a crisis at the beginning of the time. There's a lineage of evil. Evil is always going to go through a crisis. You're evil. You think evil. I really think they lab rats, but that's, like I said, another conversation. They want to talk about us and how we, like, you got people like Nick Fuentes. This is the thing about people like Nick Fuentes. You got people like him walking around saying nigga. And he's a real nigga, that and all this. Man, look, one of y'all should spank that man. We out here spanking ourselves. And I don't mean with a gun. I mean actually take a belt to that man's ass. No funnies. No gay shit or none of that. I mean real shit, bro. Make them embarrass that man. He want to be a so-called political advocate for the white male. Man, look. Y'all need to be putting belt to that nigga ass, bro. If I ever see that man, I'll be the one going to jail for it. I'll be the one. I'm tired of this black or this melanated bullying. This bullying that they keep doing, and that's the thing about these so-called white superior males. Because, a bully is really a bitch. Like, a bully, they do it because, they're insecure on the inside. And they know if we was to ever come together, all this shit will be stopped. All of it. That's what Malcolm X was really advocating for. But you had house niggas like Martin Luther King who kept advocating for integration. Nah, I don't want them to be taught by our own kind. I got a dream. We'll be taught by white people and grow up in their land and, die by our own kind. And I'm going to get all of this money because a lot of people don't know he wasn't even initially a part of the March on Washington or something shit like that. He wasn't, the big march that happened when they came on, he wasn't even initially a part of it. Kennedy put him in it. That man literally put him in it and 5 others, and it was called the Big Six. One thing about marching, though, marching ain't never got shit done. Never got nothing done by marching. Anything. Marching, preaching, peaceful ways. How they got all of their land and all of everything that they have is through strictly violence. When you think about it, and when you know your history, you don't even have to think about it. It is through violence. The only way to combat that is violence. You cannot combat it with peace. Because like what's going on, you will get slaughtered. You're just waiting your turn to enter the slaughterhouse. What will happen when we get a person like Nick Fuentes in office?